I enrolled for the school leadership program at Luigi Giussani Institute of Higher Education because I was interested in learning more about education management. My mother runs a school and I'd like to run it with her.
I remember one time one of the staff from Luigi came to our school and they talked about this course, and we were invited for a breakfast. And when I went for that breakfast, the testimonies of the students who had finished inspired me. I believe if I had not gone for that breakfast, I wouldn't have joined. But the testimony inspired me so much.
When I look at Luigi, generally, the staff, they are calm as far as welcoming students who are eager to know more as regarding learning and studying. When I look at lectures alone, they are conducted fully without fear, without leaving any student behind.
And I'm like, wow, I think this leadership training can be able to take my leadership skills very far.
As a young leader in a school without any experience, I felt I needed these skills. I needed to get these skills to help me in my day-to-day running of the school.
I was a teacher in ECCE and a leader at my school. So I found out that it would be very important for me to do this course in order to make some changes in my school. Because by that time I came to do that course, most of the teachers in my school, they didn't want to hear about change. So I had to come and acquire knowledge so that I can go back and convince them.
I was able to learn various things. For example, in the school leadership program, there are course units like strategic management, which enable me to learn how to plan as a school leader. You need to know the SWOT. You need to know the strength of the school, the weakness and the opportunities and threats.
One of the modules that was so exciting was financial management.
Most of us school leaders have an idea that we can manage our finances ourselves, which is not true. At times we end up getting the money from the school and putting it in our pockets, maybe paying fuel, maybe even getting a loan for something else that will not benefit the school.
With the finance, as a school leader, I'm the accounting officer, and yet I have to deal with quite a number of people, the parents or the students who bring in the money. I have to deal with the government, which commits its resources to the school.
It has helped me look at leadership and management in another level. You know, many times we get into education section, like for me who is a teacher, you get there and you think leadership and management is commanding everybody, commanding the students, you know, it's like a military thing, eh? But these course modules have taught us that in our school there are a variety of things that can be done in leadership and management. You don't need to be everywhere.
In school leadership, there's action research. This is very, very important. I did my bachelor's and I did basic research, which I found like I got the research and I just helped fill the library at the end of the day. But with action research, this is something that happens on ground, which I like. You identify a problem. For example, I identify a problem in my class, primary 2, which was spelling. Spellings are everywhere. Even as an adult, you go through spelling errors. So I identified the spelling problem in my class. So I tried my best to find ways on how to solve it.
The topic was about how can I motivate teachers of my school to go back for upgrading. Because I'd found out some of the teachers have worked for 25 years, but they are still seated comfortably with their certificates. As I was doing this research, most of the teachers or some of the teachers were motivated to upgrade. And the matrons themselves, you know, these matrons are the people who are looking after the children. They are not entering the class, but they are looking after the children. But at least 2 matrons have been motivated to go for upgrading. They are doing their certificates, and one teacher is doing a diploma, and she she chose to join Luigi Giussani Institute of Higher Education.
I realized that it was a problem of the methods of teaching, how to read and write, how to help our students comprehend. So it was a bigger problem than what I thought. Even as the teachers, it was our biggest problem. And I mean, it was amazing at the end of it all. We realized that ourselves needed to be learners of reading, writing, and comprehension before we do the teaching.
Another thing I learned that was very vital was the role of parents.
Getting the attention of parents. You know, at times we don't bring parents overboard and we hustle with things alone. But this leadership training taught me how we can bring parents on board.
The teachers I met were really responsible. They helped me gain a lot. So they also helped me become responsible. For example, the school practice, I learned how to handle children. Find a kid crying, I'm responsible to ask him why he or she is crying.
Now at Luigi, I did not only do school leadership, I also did ECD, Early Childhood Development, which is a very interesting course for me because I love children so much.
I like children. I like playing with children a lot.
So I really wanted to understand these kids. I had this mentality that you should keep comparing kids. Why don't you be like this one? Why don't you be like this? Which is not the case. I have learned that kids have different learning abilities. They have different interests. They're different learners.
I've really gained a lot. So please don't minimize any work. Because girls outside there minimize, and many of them think that teaching is not a good course, most especially nursery teaching. After finishing this course, it wasn't hard for me to get a job.
Hey, you might have been in leadership for quite long, but maybe you don't know it all. And I'm very certain that you don't know it all.
We are supposed to refresh ourselves every now and then because very many things are changing in the education system.
I would even love to do more just because of time. But the facilitators were very adequate, were very proficient. They gave us what we wanted. They were friendly. They were like parents.
And when I look at my friends who are outside there, who may have failed to go for upgrading, Luigi is the right place because they have that welcoming heart, that is hospitality, there's teacher relation.
These days I sit in my office and the way I look at the students, it's not the way I used to look at them. When I look at them, I look at people who have potential and people whose potential I need to bring out, you know, and I know how to do it.